Adam. A lot of stuff happening around Carolina athletics, in addition to the Tar Heels taking on Florida State in a big men's basketball game. What else is happening for Carolina?
Well, we know that women's basketball faced Miami last night in an important game.
Big game in the ACC. Again, our recording schedule does not allow us to talk about it because we don't know what happened because it hasn't happened yet. But hoping the Heels had a great game.
Yes. Then this weekend, track goes to the Penn State National Invitational. That has to be indoors. There's no way you'd go to State College at this time of year and be outdoors. Swimming goes to Duke on Friday at 4 o'clock. Wrestling goes to Virginia Tech on Friday at 7 o'clock. You can stream that one on ACC Network Extra. Women's gymnastics at home tonight, 7:30, against those upstart Clemson Tigers.
Yeah.
It's Alumni Day. It looks like you're supposed to wear white, which they're calling Frost Yourself.
Oh, okay. Get frosty.
So any members of the Angel family who are going, Jones, they need to wear white.
I don't think we're going to have any Angel representation at this one. So hopefully the Gym Heels can – maybe we could put up like a ribbon somewhere that just says like Angels.
Do you still have the cardboard cutouts from COVID?
I think I do somewhere.
Yeah. What if you put those?
Yeah, I think we only have one of my son, but we could just go put him in the stands.
Yeah.
That'd be maybe a little awkward, but that'd be a funny memory.
Gwen Fink would immediately get all tens.
She'd be like Travis Kelce. She'd give the heart sign to it. It's for you guys. No, you can't be here tonight.
Then on the tennis side, we've got ITA kickoff weekend.
Yeah, it's a big weekend.
Women's tennis today, 2 o'clock, is facing off with Oregon. And then the men open tomorrow, Saturday. I want to talk about this men's tennis ITA draw procedure.
Okay.
This is crazy. So the men open on Saturday against Illinois at 12:30.
And Illinois is good, right?
In Chapel Hill. Okay, so here's the thing. I'm gonna read this to you from the release, Jones, which will be electric, I'm sure. And I'm gonna tell you about it here in just a second.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's just navigating through his phone. He hasn't updated it since 1999, so it's a little slow.
Okay. So Illinois is the only unranked team in this regional. The teams in the 4-team regional are Carolina number 16, Wake Forest number 17, Florida number 20.
Wow.
Those are really good teams. Well, you might say, how did the Tar Heels get stuck with such a regional? The ITA kickoff weekend draft gave coaches the power to choose where their teams play. The 15 host sites were determined based on 2023 year-end rankings, so that's why Carolina's hosting. The remaining teams were able to choose where they want to play based on year-end finish, starting with the number 16 ranked team and running until all the spots were filled. So if you just want a fun trip, you could be like, we'd like to play at Pepperdine.
I've never heard of anything like that.
I haven't either. That's why I wanted to read it. This is incredible. So
okay. So wait. So are the Tar Heels the 16? So were they the first team that got to pick and they're like, well, we'll just play at home?
I don't think so, because it says there are 15 host sites already determined. And there's 60 teams in the field, not 64.
Oh, okay. Well, okay. So like Wake Forest got the second pick, I guess, maybe, or does
that's this year's ranking.
So we don't even know who got the first, like who was the first team to be like, I want to go here.
Well, I think we can guess based on, like, their current ranking is probably not that far off their 23 year-end ranking.
Right. So Wake had to pick pretty early, one would assume. And
I would think
they'd
so.
be like, well, we're just going to go down the road to Chapel Hill. Why would we go somewhere far away?
Well, and it may not bode well for what other teams think of the Tar Heels that you have both Wake and Florida both going, we'd like to go there.
Well, Tar Heels they've had some roster turnover. There's no question about that.
Right. A lot of unknowns with Sam Paul's squad.
What a weird. Did they do that on the women's side too? Because I have to imagine that whoever were the last 3 teams to pick, Oregon was the last team to pick. Them, Charlotte, and whoever the other team is.
I don't know. As we record this, the women haven't put out their release yet for this weekend. It kind of seems like they might have, because you wouldn't think Oregon would voluntarily say, we'll go to Chapel Hill. That's really far and expensive. So that had to be one of the last slots.
I got to say, that's really dumb. Don't you think?
Not if the Tar Heels win.
No. I just mean that whole process. Like, that doesn't seem like a smart process to me. Why wouldn't you just do it? We don't have enough committees to have a committee to look at both. Let's try to make these pods fair and keeping some geographic thoughts in mind of where to put them. Now, granted, this is an ITA event, not an NCAA event.
Right.
I've never heard anything like that. And I think you're penalizing the teams that get to host. Like,
Right.
I mean, obviously you would always choose to be at home, but that's the craziest thing I've ever heard. I think you made that up.
Did I or did I not? I don't know. Watch ITA kickoff weekend. You'll find out for sure. So, as we said,
I want to ask Sam Paul and Brian Calvis about this. I want to get their thoughts.
Okay. Well,
We need to get, I mean, we always want to talk to them, period. But I'd like to get some tennis representation in here soon and ask about this.
I pledge that between now and next show, I will try to get some thoughts from them.
This has got me riled up.
I can tell. Okay, so this sport does not use that format, women's basketball.
Well, let's see, guys. Who would you like to choose to play today? Like, you're picking your own schedule?
Well, that's how Duke does it in men's basketball. We're not accustomed to that in other sports. On the women's side, the Tar Heels go to Virginia on Sunday at noon on the CW.
Oh, CW game.
F-Boy Island, get ready. A noon start on the C-Dub?
Man, happy Sunday, everybody. Maybe you're having a little brunch, late cup of coffee, turn on the CW like you normally do, and watch the Tar Heels.
And then wrestling hosts Navy on Military Appreciation Day, Sunday at 3 o'clock. And, of course, you've got the conclusion of men's tennis ITA kickoff weekend. Who knows what the pairings will be?
Yeah.
The women are Friday, Saturday. The men are Saturday, Sunday.
That's crazy to me.
I've never heard of anything like that. That sounds like something that they were sitting around going, what if we did this? And everyone's like, nah, I don't think so.
Yeah.
And then whoever was in charge, like, I'm just going to slide this through, and we'll see if anybody notices.